the sun puts me in a bad mood. Speak.
Well, I'm trying, Silas. I just got here. And I'll be honest, right now my head is more filled with Sabrina Carpenter than Love and Deepspace, because I've been watching all the discourse that's been going down around the new album announcement and stuff like that. So, I will try to focus on boys and not girls right now. I'm gonna try one more thing, by which I mean I'm just gonna restart my iPad really quick. Okay, looks like I will just have to entertain you all for a minute. Uh, and do my best. I will say, and this is me going off for a second. You remember I said my brain was filled with Sabrina Carpenter right now. Yesterday, one of my favorite YouTubers, The Authentic Observer, released a video talking about Sabrina Carpenter, femininity, and sexuality. And I'm still working my way through it. I've got like 20 minutes in the video, but 20 minutes left. It's a long video. And I really enjoy the video. I was a bit nervous at first because I'm like, oh god, is she about to say something bad about Sabrina Carpenter or anything like that? But a friend assured me that no, it was positive. Uh, and of course, it was done before all the discourse about the new album started. But I admit, seeing the comments and seeing the discourse, it really bugged me, and it kind of bugged me for the same reason I don't like the way some people talk about Love and Deepspace. The way people just get so weird about female sexuality, and that's kind of what my head is filled with right now. Is just this, why can't we have nice things? And why are people so weird about it? I don't know. I've been tempted to possibly do a video on it myself. Just because watching her video and thinking about it and watching the Love and Deepspace discourse has just, it lit a burning fire in me, and last night it kind of all coalesced. The sound is just going to keep being glitchy, isn't it? We're going to just keep going. Yeah, like I said, that's just been on my mind since last night. And even, like, I saw a post recently with someone comparing, like, romance games for men and women and how people complain that men's games are so sexualized.
Give them an opening.
And they specifically referenced a line from, I don't remember if it's Raphael or Silas.
Why don't we see who gets to them first?
Back up. It has up its sleeve.
Where it's one of the spicy cards where he says, I don't think I can hold myself back anymore. Which, like, if you know romance, that is an extremely common line. And people were like, this game is so rapey, and women give men a hard time for what they like. And, like, there's a whole discussion in that to be had. Like, granted. But to try and go off one line from one character in a dating sim and act as if that's indicative, like, the reason that line is acceptable and the reason that line works in context is because there are so many other lines around it. Anvil says, the difference is presentation. That is... The difference is presentation. Romance games for women are more subtle. That is a really good comparison. And, like, you were the one who sent me a video of the Times Square ad they did with the Tomorrow's Catch-22 visuals. You know, the stuff that looks like bondage gear. And so, like, you've seen that. And I'm not going to deny it's there. This game is extremely sexual. But it's also safe. And it's the same thing kind of with Sabrina Carpenter, where it's like, it's sexual, but not in a different way. Like, yes, Sabrina Carpenter wears lingerie, but I feel like there's a huge difference between the vintage lingerie she wears versus stuff that you would see in some things that's aimed at men. Anvil says, whereas the one for men, especially on Steam, are so obvious with their sexual nature. And again, like, Love and Deep Space.
Not bad. Praise me again, please.
Anvil, honestly, they're just straight up porn. And like there is a difference, isn't there? And like you know, I've told you a lot about this game, of course. And you've seen bits and pieces. You haven't seen a lot of the stuff that's the more romantic lines. The spicy cards where the guys are like, I can't hold back anymore. I'm going to be greedy for you. It works because there are so many other scenes where instead of that, it's just adoration and it's care and it's putting the main character first. And it's like, because of that, because there is this obvious genuine care that's written into the story, when you get through scenes where it is a bit more aggressive and it is a bit spicier, there's a safety that's already been established by previous scenes and the genuine care that was established, like I said. So that makes it safe to explore something like the Tomorrow's Catch-22 banner, which is set in a post-apocalyptic world, hence why the guys are all wearing black leather with some really sexy cutouts. It's safe to explore that because the characters have already been established as a safe space for the player. And to disregard that and to just say, oh, women are just being hypocritical, like Anvil said, there's a subtlety to it that isn't there in a lot of games I see for men. Going back to Anvil's comments, not gonna lie, when I'm bored, I just browse Steam and look through these games and read their descriptions. Netflix has better writing than this. Like I said, it comes back to safety. And the fact that things are established, and it's very much, I think, a big component of female sexuality that a lot of men don't seem to comprehend is trust. And it's like, yes, you are going to have to deal with a fairly justifiable fear that a lot of women have. And some of it is since society telling women to be afraid, and maybe that does go a bit too far, but at the same time, it is a justified fear. And I think a lot of people don't understand that the reason something like Love and Deep Space works is because it's safe. So there is a huge difference between like the cheeky way that Sabrina Carpenter markets her sexuality, essentially, and just like the other ways we see things marketed to men. Am I making any sense at all? But yeah, I just feel like the judgment this game gets and the way I see men talk about Sabrina Carpenter, it pisses me off because it fails to understand context and it just completely fails to understand why these are things that work for women. Okay, let's go beat up more Wanderers.